anything that you're going to do in your life, preparation is 95% of the end result. You get out what you put in. You know, there's always a chance that something can go wrong, and you have to be prepared to risk that. And at least for that one race run, you have to put your mind at ease. Growing up, my folks were very much into horses, and I just wanted to make my own way and own path. I turned to downhill. I came fifth in the South African Championship, and from then on it was full on downhill. I just wanted to see how far I can go. Probably the best feeling I've had was we just wanted to go and get experience, and went over to Europe with a very limited budget, living out of a van and really roughing it. Then we went to a German national race, and there were about 550 riders there. We actually managed to get first and second. Even though I didn't win, it was still so amazing because of all that we'd been through up until that point, and we had no expectation. That was one of the best days I've ever had. Going to be a lot of times where you want to give up, and then you got to look back and say, why did you start doing this? You started riding a bike because you loved it, and then you decided that that's all you wanted to do. And I think if you do something and you love it and you're willing to put everything into it, then it'll work out in the end. There are always going to be things that scare you. It's quite a mental challenge when you're at the top of the track, and then they close the track because so-and-so has had a huge crash and he's being taken off because he's got a broken this and broken that. Immediately after that, you've got to send yourself hurtling down the hill. It's just about putting that to one side and sort of separating that and almost becoming immune to the fear and using the fear to make you stronger. Conquering that fear is a great feeling as well. You just got to believe in yourself and know that you've put in the work, you've got the ability, and just do it, and less thinking about it. I find when you think about something, it actually makes it worse, whereas if you just get there, make a quick decision to do it, don't do it, and then go. Whereas if you think about it too much, then you start thinking about the consequences of what could happen if you don't get it right, then it makes it even worse. Whereas most of the time, if you just get there and go for it, it'll work out. Sometimes when something bad happens, it's not always the worst thing in the world. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. In whatever you're doing, there's always going to be challenges. It's going to be different for every person individually, but it's about finding ways to get around those. And I was preparing for the African Continental Championships, and coming into the African Championships, I went to the track beforehand. I did my physical training, everything was perfect, and then in my final race run I had a flat tire, and I came down and I still finished fifth. I was only 3.5 seconds off the win, even having about 30 seconds of a run with a completely flat tire. I was convinced that that day I was going to win. That was a very, very tough one to swallow. You've got to use that as a motivation to keep going, and you've got to look at the positives and try and find the positives even when there doesn't seem like there's any positives to find. There are going to be a lot of things that you're going to have to sacrifice. There will be things that you don't plan to sacrifice as well that will come up along the way, that if you are truly serious about what you're doing, it won't really be a decision. You have to be willing to endure pain as well. You have to be willing to endure stress. If you want a good outcome, it's all about having a positive attitude towards it and being optimistic. Everything follows what your mindset is. Team can be a good thing. It's just being on the right team and having the right group of people around you. And I think if you can surround yourself with the right type of people that have the same views as you do, then you won't have those clashes and it won't be a big deal, you know, but you'll still have that support. Going forward, I want to win the national championship. For me, that's why you get into something. You want to be the best rider out there and the best rider in the world. Even though it's going to be one heck of a challenge, it's just your attitude and your will to go on and determination. That'll be what gets you there or what doesn't get you there. If you put in the hard work and through self-belief, you can do pretty much anything. So we spend 95% of our time training and preparing just for one run, which is just a few minutes. But when you're at the top of the mountain there in the middle of Europe and looking out at a beautiful view in nature, you just think, this is why I'm doing it, this is why I'm coming back. And that's what keeps me motivated.